Hello everybody, this is Twin Flame. Today, I'm talking about one specific country, about what's happening now in that country, and about what will happen to this country. Last year, this country finished off the presidential election and is ready to have a new president this year. However, now, this country seems to be somewhat unstable, making other countries concerned about this country. I'm talking about the United States of America. But I swear you don't need to worry about this country because the Creator who has come down to the earth has a big plan for this country. The United States will play an important role in the end times and must be prepared to play that role now. I will present the heavenly programs that the Creator has prepared for this country. Captain Udeka's message for today is Social Change Programs for the United States prepared by the heaven. The Great Spiritual Awakening and the Consciousness Revolution. Please listen carefully. The United States is a country founded by the will of the Creator. The United States is the kingdom of God. The United States is the country of all the spirit souls. The United States is a country whose people worship and serve the Creator as their God. The United States is a country that represents liberal democracy. The trade war between the United States and China is underway fiercely. The war for hegemony between the United States and China is in fierce progress. As rapidly growing Chinese influence reaches 2/3 of all countries in the world, the fight for global hegemony between the United States and China is being waged inevitably. The United States is where there is the brightest light in the world, and it has been prepared by the heaven as a country in which fierce spiritual war between light and darkness is to occur in the end times. The fierce spiritual war is going on in this country now. The elite corps of light under the command of the Creator has been deployed in the leader group of the United States and have built the camp of light. For the fierce battle between good and evil to be held in the end times, the forces of darkness began to be nested in the United States from 25 years ago. American society is now being plagued by battles between truth and lies and between good and evil. American society has become an arena of the confrontation between conscience and revengeful thoughts. American society is wandering now at the crossroads of choices over whether to follow conscience and justice or tolerate and overlook corruption and injustice. On December 22nd in 2019, on the winter solstice, the Omega, who is the creator of the 15th level of the 18th dimension, commanded the forces of darkness and the shadow government working on the planet Earth to expand the spiritual war between light and darkness to the global level. On December 19th in 2019, some members of the Tree of Life in the Light were visiting Gyeongbokgung Palace in Seoul, South Korea. On this day, the channeler team of the Tree of Life in the Light received the message from the Omega, the creator of the 15th level of the 18th dimension as follows. In the future, the planet Earth will be completely engulfed by darkness that will go beyond its threshold to reveal itself to the world, where a single ray of light will disappear. My workers of darkness under my command have been ready by now, so I will give them orders to embark on the operations I have set. Those of you who are being prepared as light workers, do not be disappointed by the heaven even when the world is overspread by this darkness. Don't be hurt even if the world is filled with darkness without a single ray of light. I hope all of you who are being trained and nurtured as light workers will cope with the upcoming situation well. Shortly thereafter, a highly infectious virus disease began to spread out on the planet Earth. As the program of the heaven progresses, corruption has intensified and prevailed around the world, and the resulting conflicts and confusion are shaking each country in the world. As the heavenly program progresses, the workers of darkness and government of darkness, who used to be the main theme of conspiracy theories, are beginning to reveal themselves to the world. As the heavenly program progresses, the world is facing a situation of chaos and confusion, along with the pandemic outbreak of highly infectious virus disease, so that no country is now being successfully managed and operated. The world is now conquered by deep darkness, where there is no single ray of light. The planet Earth was chosen by the heaven to be a planet of darkness for the dissolution of the cosmic karmas. If the heaven or the Creator had not come down to the earth, the history of the planet would end up with the victory of darkness. On December 3rd, in 2020, there was an order from the source consciousness of the ninth Creator dwelling in Muguk, given to 3 source consciousnesses of the Creator who have come down to the earth. Each order is to terminate the darkness of the planet Earth and convert the planet to a planet of light. On the same day, the authority to switch the 17th dimensional programs for the evolutionary roadmap of the planet Earth to the 18th dimensional programs was bestowed on the 3 source consciousnesses of the Creator who have come down to the earth. Finally, from December 3rd in 2020, the 3 source consciousnesses of the Creator who have come down to the earth have begun to transform the planet Earth from a planet of darkness to a planet of light. Had the heaven or the Creator not come down to the earth, a unified world government would be established so that the world would be ruled by the forces of darkness through this government. The Great Reset, which is the primary agenda of the forces of darkness, would be implemented. The forces of darkness have wanted sovereign nations to lose their national powers and to be dominated by the United Nations or other international organizations. If the 17th dimensional evolutionary programs of Earth had continued to progress, their wishes would be realized, which would be the sad destiny of the planet Earth. Before the heavenly program began to unfold, the ratio of the power of the camp of light to that of the camp of darkness was 228. By the Heavenly Program that was launched on December 3rd in 2020, the light of the Creator has begun to be supplied to the Camp of Light on a small scale for the first time to give wisdom and courage to this group of people. This light of the Creator has also begun to be supplied to some of the politicians and journalists to help them restore their conscience. However, due to the delay in the transition of the heavenly systems from the 17th dimensional to the 18th dimensional ones, social changes in the United States have occurred at a minimal level that is below the level expected by the heavenly program. Only on January 10th in 2021, the light of the Creator began to enter the United States on a full scale. As the heavenly program progresses normally, the light of the Creator will be supplied to the American people who have been immersed in material affluence so far, so that their consciousness will be awakened. On January 13th in 2021, the light of the heaven will begin to be supplied to the three competent strategists working as the main pillars of the Camp of Light. These people equipped with courage and wisdom are those who have been prepared by the heaven for this Camp of Light. The Camp of Darkness will also be continuously supplied with the light of the heaven, but this light will amplify their fears and dreads. On the contrary, the Camp of Light will be continuously supplied with the heavenly light, bringing them wisdom and courage. Now, the fight of David and Goliath is underway in the United States. In fact, this country is in a situation as if it is in a thick fog where no one can see an inch ahead. Recently, the Camp of Light succeeded in the Trojan horse operation involving the current vice president, which was secretly carried out by this camp. Through this success, the Camp of Light was able to grasp whether people around them are enemies or allies to them and lay the foundation for reversing their situation. The truth and secret of the Trojan horse operation will be revealed to the public over time. The strategy of the Camp of Light is to raise moral and ethical issues about the opponent candidate for the last presidential election rather than the integrity of the election. And by carrying out this strategy first, they will succeed in moving away from a defensive posture and shifting toward the offensive. There will be a string of revelations about corruption. Promiscuous and perverse sexual lives of social leaders will be made known to the public. The links between politicians and drug cartels will be exposed on a massive scale. Large-scale corruption scandals linked to politicians will be publicized in succession. Finally, the forces of darkness will begin to be pushed out of power and will be divided and howling with rage and resentment. Many big figures belonging to the forces of darkness will be arrested. As people become aware of the true identity of the forces of darkness, the consciousness of people will be awakened rapidly as much. The heaven has prepared for the great spiritual awakening in the United States. The heaven will create a new concept of nation in the United States. The heaven will demonstrate the victory of light in this country. The heaven will let U.S. citizens know that the Creator is in company with them as their God. As the heavenly program progresses, U.S. citizens will learn that the only way to restore their lost conscience is to believe in the Creator. The American people will become aware of the value of faith in God once again. Also, they will deeply realize the priceless value of liberal democracy. The United States will be dragged into extreme chaos and confusion over the next 5 months, whose future will be completely unpredictable. In the midst of confusion and chaos, whose end cannot be predicted, the American people will regain the spirit of the founders of their country, the founding fathers of the United States. The existing values based on human greed will be disrupted. The existing order based on human desire will be destroyed. All the previous values that have driven the United States will become null and obsolete. In the midst of extreme chaos and confusion, new values will slowly become established in the United States. The movement of the Great Spiritual Awakening, which began in the United States, will be expanded to the world. The consciousness revolution that started in the United States will spread throughout the global village. As the heavenly program progresses, the Camp of Light will be organized on a large scale. On the other hand, the fatal flaws of the Camp of Darkness will cause a major problem that will lead to a national issue. Such a problem has never occurred in the history of the United States, and as a result, U.S. citizens will be cast adrift for quite some time, struggling to find a breakthrough from this national crisis, until clues to overcome it are eventually found. As the heavenly program progresses, the light of the Creator will be supplied to both the state courts and the Supreme Court of the United States that have been overspread by darkness, so that they will also restore their conscience, which will bring significant outcomes. As the light of the Creator continues to be supplied to the Camp of Light, the ratio of the power of light to that of darkness will finally become 8-2 in the United States. In order to disclose what the Creator who has come down to the earth is doing now, and what the 18th dimensional heaven that has come down to the earth is doing now, I, Captain Udeka, leave this message as a record. January 12th in 2021, Udeka wrote. His message was translated by Twin Flame. Thank you so much for listening.